Star Wars Outlaws, the game.
So yeah, let's just jump into this trailer. Really excited about all these games coming out, but this is one of our top games.
Excited for this one.
Yep. Again, this one's made by Ubisoft.
Made by Ubisoft, yep. It's just something about the fact that if I see anything Star Wars, I'm just immediately happy. Like, did you have that feeling? I have that feeling. I love that part right there. That's Han Solo in the carbonite.
Yep.
Oh, I love that so much.
And so this game's going to be taking place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, so that's where it fits into the timeline.
Yep. And then this is the main character. Her name is Kay Vess. She's a thief. And that's her little pal named Nyx. I think is super cute and adorable. It's like if I were to have an alien pet, that's what I want.
It's definitely like the alien version of having a dog, I would think. But
right?
I think,
just look at him.
And just a little prelude here. I think that your little character guy, Nyx here, I think he's going to be pretty important to the actual gameplay and not just so much a companion.
Right. And which the gameplay did show a lot of what he's going to be able to do. And there's speed bikes in this game.
Yeah,
there's
speed bike racer.
Ships. Oh my goodness.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to drive that speed. I cannot wait to ride that speed racer.
Yeah, right?
And dude, they were saying that you can do tricks on the speed racer and stuff like that too.
Really?
Yeah, like almost like a BMX kind of style. Dude, that's gonna be fun. And then the ship. That's gonna be your ship. The graphics too look amazing. Like I know this is just like cinematic, but they did do the gameplay drop, and the gameplay drop, like I feel like this is obviously a next gen title. I mean, you can see it in the gameplay trailer. This is dude, the Rancor. Let's go. So
and I think the coolest thing with this is you'll be able to travel between different worlds and just like kind of get a full effect of Star Wars Galaxy and that kind of narrative, which is really cool.
Dude, and I think since I'm just kind of like guessing here, guys. I don't have any, information, but I think showing the Rancor means that there is a possibility that we could be visiting Jabba the Hutt's lair, which would be super, super fun.
I mean, kind of makes sense with the kind of the style of who she is and the things that she's got to do to kind of survive within this galaxy. So
yeah. I mean, like let's be honest. It's a gameplay, so they could put the Rancor anywhere, but I feel like if they hold true, like the Rancor only makes it just makes logical sense that you would see that in Jabba the Hutt's lair. So I'm super excited about that.
Right.
But yeah, this is going to be the first open world Star Wars game. The first open world, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and like you said, it's between Empire and Jedi. This is like your kind of game, so I'm gonna let you riff on it, and I'll just kind of like jump in where I see fit, because I can see the anticipation and excitement in your eyes. So tell them about the game, man. What's going on here?
This is definitely kind of up my alley in terms of gameplay, the third person look, the shooter, and this game has pretty much like anything you'd think to be in a Star Wars game, it's in this game. Like you have the blasters, you have the speed bikes, you have dogfights in space, you have space jumping, you have your little companion Nyx. I just think, and the storyline, I think it seems really like it's gonna be pretty cool, kind of coincides with the main plot line of Star Wars. And like I said, you're gonna be the thief, and you become the most wanted bounty in this game. And I'm guessing like it's going to be one ultimate heist that you're going to have to complete to kind of become free. I'm guessing kind of what the story is going to turn into.
That's also what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I think it's
going to take to. Yeah.
And
honestly, like, so a big complaint of the game so far is there's no lightsabers, there's no Jedi, but they've done that for literally everything else. So my thought is like, why do they need another game that needs to have Jedis and lightsabers? And you look at Rogue One, that was a really good Star Wars movie. There wasn't very many lightsabers. You know what I mean? If any, I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a while, but
that was one of my complaints when like kind of the new movies dropped. As I was like, I'm missing the lightsaber, you know what I mean? Like I'm just missing it. But I mean,
I
in this game it makes sense, right? So
Yep.
let's jump back just a little bit storyline wise. Um, like Adam said, this takes place in between Empire and Jedi. And I think seeing Han Solo in the Carbonite is very important for the understanding of like what your role in this game is going to be. So your role in this game is to take on these like high risk, high reward missions for crime syndicates. And basically
Yep.
that is what Han Solo did in the movies, and they've always alluded to it, but they've never really showed anything about it. But if you go back to like, Empire and Jedi and stuff like that, like Han Solo has these kind of like relationships, so like with certain groups of people, right? And these are all crime syndicates within the universe. So I think
Yep.
what this game is kind of mimicking is you taking over for Han Solo in a sense. I mean, storyline wise, it's not like, oh, Han Solo's in Carbonite, so now I have to take over. But that's kind of like the feel that I get for this, right? Is like
Yeah.
you're now kind of taking over those missions that like a Han Solo would do.
Right.
And obviously Han Solo is not a Jedi. He does not have a lightsaber, and
Right.
that it kind of makes sense. I can also see the flip side though of like people who want a Star Wars game who are really into the lightsabers and just feel like it should be there no matter what. So I
I kind of I'm looking past the lightsabers because the Star Wars is just it's more than just the lightsabers. And, you know what I mean?
yes, it
In
is
my opinion.
more. It is more than just the lightsabers, and this goes like back into like comics and like there's so much Star Wars media outside of the movies. I mean, they have comic books, they have full novels, they have graphic novels. I mean, they have audio versions of stuff. They have. I mean, the universe itself is expanded upon way more than in the movies. So like
Right.
I understand where you're coming from as well, and I do understand, and I think this game is going to have enough in it substance wise where once you start playing, you might forget that the lightsabers aren't a part of it, and you'll be okay with that because it's like
Right.
enough action and enough different things to keep you going. I also do see, would I love to be able to also pull out a lightsaber at some point? Yeah, obviously I would. But yeah, it's not that type of game. So this game might not be for everybody, but I do think it's gonna be good.
But we just got Jedi Survivor.
We did just get Jedi Survivor,
So
and
there's your lightsaber. If you want to play with your lightsabers, go to Jedi Survivor. You know what I mean? That game just came out. It's like, so you can't expect.
lightsaber players, get over there to Jedi
Yeah.
Survivor.
I think I'm just kind of like my argument to it is Star Wars is much more than lightsabers. And if you want to play a lightsaber game, Jedi Survivor, like you guys can go like you can play that. You can play that. I think this game is going to be a little bit more in depth in terms of like I think it's going to be more focused on the storyline. You know what I mean? Not so much the combat of the game. Like yeah, this game's open world, it's going to be massive, but I think it's really going to cater to the people that want a progressing story. Granted, Survivor it has a story, but like let's be honest, you just want to go in there and kick the crap out of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
This game has mechanics of stealth and just different mechanics that you don't really see in a Star Wars game, like the stealth, the driving of the speed bikes, the ship, like all of it, and the parkour interacting with the environment, which that's what Nick's gonna be able to do. From the gameplay reveal, you can see that Nyx can interact with the environment like by pushing buttons or like fetch different weapons for you. And I'm sure other things as well. So that's kind of cool.
he can steal stuff from people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I think that's cool. Yeah, dude. I mean, I totally understand, and like I think what this game does is it brings Star Wars to a different audience, right?
Yep.
Obviously you guys have probably found out by now if you've been listening to the episodes and stuff like that. Like me and Adam are gamers. We are both hardcore gamers, but we are both very much different types of gamers when it comes to like the type of stuff that we like. Adam loves shooting, he loves racing, stuff like that. I love fantasy RPGs and like smashing stuff with swords and like puzzle kind of like Zelda-y kind of you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like like kind of like what Adam said, we just got Jedi Survivor, and for an audience like me that wants to hit stuff with swords and solve puzzles, we have that game. And now for an audience like Adam, who would much rather race around, on speeder bikes and shoot stuff.
Exploding everything. Yep.
Yeah, like he has that game now too. And, as much as I want to say, like, am I going to miss the lightsaber? Yeah, I'm going to miss the lightsaber. But, like, also, if you just kind of look at it and, like, I wish I had a better, like, a better way to say this, but, like, it's almost selfish, right? To be like, it needs a light, like, we can only have one game. Like, I'm excited that there's a Star Wars game that, like, caters to, like, the games that you like to play. And, like,
And the ones that like you like to play. You know what I mean? It's kind of
right.
like you said, give and take. Like,
Yeah.
I have a game that I love. Let's give another audience something that they can love. And I totally agree with that. And I think this is a game that's going to do that for a lot of Star Wars fans that normally don't like a Souls-like type of game or
Exactly.
the swordsmanship. So
Yeah, because like a lot of what we were talking about already, it's like, if you guys are watching the video cast on YouTube or anything like that, you can see, like, you could probably see in my face if you go back, as soon as I saw that TIE fighter cruise across the screen, like, I just immediately a smile came on my face, right? And Star Wars is just one of those franchises where it's like, no matter what they do, you can say, like, this is bad, this doesn't work, this isn't great, this could have been better. It's just one of those franchises that really resonates with me. And just, like, anytime I see anything that has to do with it, like, I'm just kind of happy and excited. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, I will very easily be able to pick up this game. And, like I said, I'll be sad at some point that there's no lightsaber, but then I'm going to jump on my speeder bike and start shooting stuff. And then I'm going to jump in my ship and go warp speed to another galaxy. Like, that will be long forgotten very soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm excited for this game, and I'm excited that you are kind of getting a game that kind of tailors more towards you, man.
Right. I'm super excited. I will say there are some concerns about who's developing this game and whether or not it's going to be very good.
Big concerns.
That being Ubisoft.
Yes.
Ubisoft is the one producing this game. However, it is the same group that produced The Division. So this just kind of like hurts my heart a little bit. So they like took the massive studios and like, nope, no more Division. You're working on these big games.
Yeah.
And so I think the developing team that's making it is the right team to do it in terms of Ubisoft. And this is going to be a game for Ubisoft. If it's a make or break game for them.
It literally is.
I think it's bigger than the Avatars from I can't remember. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game. Like, I think this game is the game that will make or break Ubisoft.
I think it is too, because outside there's been one complaint with Ubisoft for forever, and it's they can't seem to nail down a shooting mechanic. They can't seem to nail down this a proper shooting mechanic. And Division was kind of like the first game where they were like, okay, this mechanic is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would pull that team from Division to work on
this.
this.
I know.
But like Division has a lot of competition, you know what I mean, when it comes to like the shooter market. You have your CODs, you got all that stuff, right? So this, I think, because of the franchise attached to it in Star Wars, it is going to bring in a big audience, and this is going to be like Ubisoft's like, hey, we can do shooters. Like, hey, we can do it. You know what I mean? So like I said, or like you said, yeah, this is a very big game for them, I think.
Yep. And kind of going off that, they also have not going to go into it too much. X Defiant, though, is another game that a lot of people are super excited about. That's supposed to be the COD killer.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that, but Ubisoft's got a lot of stuff going on their plate right now. And like I said, these games are going to what brings Ubisoft back into like the serious talk of like good game developers. So
yeah,
I'm super excited about this game. I will say there is one thing that's another big complaint from a lot of people is no character customization and no multiplayer, which I'm okay with the no multiplayer or the no customization. I'm like, you are a K-Vest, like get engulfed in being K-Vest. I think that's super cool. I hope they do bring in some sort of character like customization into the point of like different outfits and suits and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But the multiplayer, I'm okay with not having that.
That makes sense to me. I mean, you're playing, like you said, you're playing as a designated character in the storyline. You're not playing as just a random RPG character. So it makes sense that you don't get to customize your own character. Now, you know, like maybe you can change hair color, like you said, or change outfits or something like that. That's
Right.
fine. But I honestly wouldn't expect a character customization. Like we didn't get a character customization in Jedi.
A little bit. In the second one, you did. You got much more. I thought you could like do stuff with the hair and do a bunch of stuff with Cal himself.
You could, but like you didn't get to design your own character. Like you still had,
okay, yeah.
you were still
Yeah.
Cal. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, I
Yeah.
feel you there.
So I'm okay with that. What I'd
Yeah.
really love to see more is, can we customize the ship? I'm not so much
Ooh.
worried about the character. Like I think like having your own ship and being to customize your own ship would be even cooler than being able to customize your character.
Right. I don't know if that will be a thing. That's a good question. Hopefully, at some point, maybe.
I mean, I'm hoping they do it because that would be cool. I would much rather, instead of making her hair pink, just like be able to put like a badass paint job on my ship or something like that, or like, you know, upgrade some thrusters, or like, you know,
Right.
do something cool with the ship. I would much rather do that. How do you feel about this open world though? That is
I
because
like open worlds.
this is my concern on it, right?
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be probably the biggest open world that Ubisoft's ever done. Correct?
Probably up there. Definitely up there. Probably one of
Yeah.
the biggest ones. Same with Avatar Frontier Pandora. I think that
Yeah.
one's supposed to be really big too.
So being able to travel to all these galaxies and stuff like that, do
Mm-hmm.
you think Ubisoft is going to put the work in to make it worthwhile to travel to these places?
So that was another thing that a lot of people had concerns about. They say a lot of Ubisoft's open world games are very shallow in terms of like their development outside of like the main frame of the game.
Exactly. And now
And
they're
again,
transposing this into planet, like galaxy size areas.
and I think that's again where it makes or break this game is whether or not they can bring in a full scale open world massive game, and if this is going to be it for them.
Yeah. I mean, developers, guys, seriously, gigantic open worlds are great, but not if you just fill them with grass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I would
Right.
much rather have a smaller, condensed, interesting world than a gigantic world full of nothing but just like static overlays of just multiple tree sets. Just, you know what I mean? Like you gotta give me a reason to explore a giant universe.
And just throw some snow on it, throw some
Right.
rain, a desert. Like, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I hope not. I hope this does become a game where it's like anywhere you look, there's something exciting about the environment. And
Yeah.
I think, again, they have to. If they don't do it in this game, I think Ubisoft isn't a serious game developer.
I mean, I feel like they have to. I mean, look at look at the best to ever do it, right? GTA.
Mm-hmm.
The GTA universe, always gigantic. It's gigantic, but it's gigantic and full. There is something to
Right.
do every single place that you go. And how long ago has it been since GTA 5? I mean, that's years. Like, it's been years.
I think it's 10 years, 10, 15
Close
years,
to
something
like
like that.
10 years since GTA 5. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, developers really need to jump on that. Like, you know, the capabilities were there. We know that the capabilities have been there. So like, if you're gonna make a gigantic world, you gotta fill it with stuff, man. You gotta fill it.
Yeah.